Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Mob Psycho 100. Last time we had Ochimusha, Psychic Powers, and me. So yeah, we had the fight. Not hardly qualifies as a fight, but the fight between Mob and Teruyuki, and basically Mob trying to hold his powers back until eventually he fell unconscious and unleashed the sleeping beast that lay with him in him, who completely decimated Terusan. And yeah, it's even scarier than when he lets out 100% of his emotions. So yeah, but they finally settled things. Teru got the lesson that, what are you without your powers? And he realized he's nothing. He's nothing. He's garbage. Whereas Mob, he at least has the Body Improvement Club. So, there's that. Yeah, that was pretty much where we left it. So yeah, like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Mob Psycho 100. Here we go.
If everyone is not special, maybe you can't be what you want to be.
Alrighty, so Ritsu does have some latent powers. Isn't that interesting? All it took was getting to a low moment. He's definitely not happy about what they did to Onigawara. There we go. Onigawara. I gotta say it specifically like that. Because if I try to say Onigawara, that my brain just like dies if I try to do Onigawawa. Ugh, I'm turning into like darts from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. Onigawawa with the Kaukamawos. Now, Onigawara. I have to remember to say it like that. Otherwise, it's just not gonna work. Man, he has an alibi though. He has an alibi. He was with the Body Improvement Club. They can attest to him, They can testify before the court, but you know what I like? Even though Onigawara is he's a very obvious delinquent, even just down to his design is very classic Japanese delinquent. I like how he has a perfect attendance record. He's never late or absent. That's an interesting detail, but I like it. He's not just the normal sort of delinquent, He's still, to an extent, I would say he's honestly a good guy, He does a couple things, picks some fights, but then again, he mostly picks fights with Teru, so nah. So yeah, but interesting stuff. Very, very interesting. First, I guess we can talk about self-defense. Could you classify what Mob did self-defense? Alright, let's think about American self-defense. American self-defense, allows you to kill a person, honestly. But this is Japan, but we're talking about psychic powers, so I don't even know how we could apply it, Self-defense. I don't know. I don't know how you could really... okay. Self-defense, yes. If Mob is being attacked, I'm pretty sure it's fine, But I don't know. It's still a negative, and it's still something that's going to weigh on him for a while. Which, honestly, other than that and the scene at dinner, there really wasn't a lot of Mob. Well, I guess there were small scenes interspersed through the episode of Mob. This episode was mainly focused on Ritsu, so yeah, so that was interesting. That was at least interesting. And I honestly, again, my favorite character so far is Reigen, just because he's very interesting. Yes, he doesn't have powers. He's, without a doubt, a con man. But his relationship with Mob is genuine, and the things he teaches him are genuine, Which is why I honestly do think that Reigen used to have powers, but instead of being like the guy at the Awakening Lab, he's not trying to like get his powers back, but he's trying to train Mob, He's training Mob properly, and honestly, I think it is a thing of like, he doesn't want Mob to repeat his same mistakes, So yeah, I think it's something like that, But I like how he says, you're always focusing on the negative. Focus on the positive. You have done great things for people with your powers, Just because you accidentally curb stomped a guy is not bad, So yeah. It's also interesting, I will say, because Mob makes the distinction that it's like, oh, well, I have psychic powers, but my master has spiritual powers. And I know that's supposed to be, the cover for Reigen, that it's like, oh, that's how he, explains to Mob why he, doesn't use the same powers or he can't see the same people. I will say it'll be an interesting twist if he actually does have spiritual powers. Because, I mean, he went out to exorcise a ghost, like, without Mob there, So I mean, he's confident, but I guess he could have also gone out there and thought, well, when things go south, I'll call Mob, I don't know. We got a bit more of Misato and Tome-chan, which is interesting. I really do. It's interesting kind of seeing both of them back to back too, where Misato, she's trying to get a story, She's trying to get a story, but she's not like so bad about it. Like, she's not like being sort of, I guess, paparazzi to him, and I'm only like kind of making that distinction just because of recently watching Broadchurch here on the channel. So, but she's not like being so insistent. Like, she wants to hear the story, but I think she does want to do good with it, So there's that. But then, so she's pestering Mob to tell her all about what he does. But then there's the other side of that, which is Tome-chan, who does want to use Mob's psychic powers, but at the same time, like, it's nothing bad. Like, she just wants his help, like, it's nothing terrible or, world conquering. She just wants to try to talk to aliens, and the only lead she has on being able to do that is through Mob, So yeah, so that was interesting. And then we did get the scene of, they're looking for different espers, and Mob did find one. He did find an esper, but he decided to keep it to himself, which is interesting. And yeah, just the thing that, whereas the last 2 episodes have been covering, like, oh, there's actually another esper out there. It's Teru. And now in this episode, it's like, yeah, there's actually a bunch of them, honestly. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them because there's the ones, even though the thing is most of them are not that impressive, but now that also leads to Ritsu. He's now an esper, apparently, which is interesting. I mean, his powers are going to be significantly less than Mob's, but I mean, it's something. So yeah, so that's interesting. And then we had the whole, I don't want to say subplot, because it was, pretty much affected Ritsu a lot, but we had the other part being the student council president who's trying to live up to his brother, where I guess he is a good student council president. He's just sort of slacking on his grades, But he decided that Onigawara is a delinquent and needs to be dealt with, but they're framing him for something he didn't do. Yes, he's a delinquent. Yes, he can be violent towards some people, but he wasn't a pervert, And it took me so long to realize what on earth they were doing. It's like, oh, they're stealing the recorders, until finally it's like, okay, it's the head of each recorder, and it's all the girls' recorders specifically. So it's supposed to be that, because, that touches their mouth, he would, lick it to lick their essence, I guess, off of the recorders. But it's an interesting thing because it works. It does work, but he kind of brings up good points of like, no, I don't do that. And why would I have left it in my desk? Wouldn't I have just taken them home? But that's the thing, is when he says like only an idiot would have left them there, and they counter with, well, you're an idiot. And it's like, what? It's like, I don't know. He's just kind of violent. I don't know. But yeah, but they all, even the girl that wanted to marry him in the past, they all look at him as a pervert now. So, and it sucks, but it's interesting because it's a very strange part of the plot. But I mean, it's solely there to affect Ritsu, because it didn't sit well with old Ritsu what happened to Onigawara. That's a slight bit of a Pirates reference, actually. But anyway. So yeah, it's like it doesn't sit well with him what they've done, Even though when he went above and beyond and put some of them in his backpack, So, but he has an alibi. He has the Body Improvement Club, and they're like paragons of men, Like they are actual Chads, So, I don't know. But even just then, like, I think the thing that gets to me the most is the fact that he was a delinquent, but he had a perfect record, Like, he was almost late today because he was training with the main guy in the Body Improvement Club. But other than that, like, he has a perfect attendance record for the past 2 years. And because of this, because of the president and Ritsu, it's gone now, And honestly, I don't know why that got to me, actually. I don't know why that was the one that got to me. That, yeah, he just couldn't... I don't know. It's sad, I guess, so... Anywho. But yeah, interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. And I'm curious to see where we are going next time. But that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Mob Psycho 100 reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.